Hey, what is going on, guys? We're back with the next part of our learning C# tutorial, and I have to apologize to you guys actually because I had already gone and recorded this episode. However, um, I was recording something earlier and I didn't want my mic to be recorded, so I turned it off, and then I totally forgot to turn it back on when I recorded the episode. So I was editing it, and then I realized my voice wasn't in it, and it wasn't very much of a tutorial. So yeah, I lost that episode. However, just to kind of make up for it, I feel really bad about it, but I'm gonna be releasing this what we worked on in the last tutorial on the forums, where you can find the link in the description. Just like always, I'll release it on there, so you guys can download it. And pretty much all we did was work on our animation, our GUI animation for the recoil, and it looks kind of complex right now, but all we did was revise a little bit of our code in our GUI. And then we worked inside of here, where we did we did a check to see which end of the GUI, of the animation we're on, calculated our current recoil based on how long we've been since we fired. We disabled input during the fire while we're rechambering or whatever. We only allowed to take input from the mouse if we're allowing the input, and then whatever, no matter what, always take in our current recoil, which is set to 0 after we're firing. And so that's pretty much the gist of it. If you guys really want to, I don't see why you would, but I could go ahead and delete what we worked on and redo it, but I don't really see a purpose in that. We can just move on. There'll be more things like that to come later on, so yeah, once again, yeah, I apologize, I totally forgot about it, but here's what it looks like in game right now. And if you notice, it does the animation, and I cannot move the cursor left and right while I'm firing. So I was moving my mouse, and it didn't start to move until after it fired, which is exactly what we want. So once again, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and begin our actual raycasting or line casting. I'm unsure of what I want to do right now, but in fact, what I'm gonna do is we'll do a physics dot. We'll do a raycast all, and then we'll take in our transform dot position as the start, and then direction will be vector 3 dot forward. The distance we'll set to in fact, we don't need to right now, so let's keep this simple. And we're gonna need to do raycast hit array hits is equal to that, because that's what it returns. And so every frame we're getting the physics engine is casting a raycast, which is throwing a ray. If you don't know what that is, it's a line that goes never ending in one direction, starting from our position and going out infinitely forward, and then it's going to assign that here. Before we go ahead and do anything with this, we're going to go ahead and do just a quick debug statement. Do for each raycast hit and hits, we'll do print hit dot collider dot name. So every time it's just going to print our name, and hopefully it'll point out something that you guys haven't. One more thing I forgot to do is it'll only pick up raycasts on things that have colliders. So what we're gonna do is the easiest way to do this: generate colliders. Give it a second. I'm gonna pause this real quick, and Unity will automatically generate colliders based on its mesh, which is pretty useful for us. And hopefully you'll catch on to something. So we hit small house, which is right. That's what we wanted. Okay. Now we'll see what happens when we move our mouse over here. Now you'll notice it hit small house, but it did not hit the player, and that's because when we do, let's think about for a second what we're actually doing here. So we're drawing a ray from this center position here forward, which will always be on the same position. We want it to draw a ray towards where our mouse is. So what we can do is, instead of doing a raycast on the forward direction, what we want to do is we'll do camera dot screen point to ray. Or actually, rather, the best way of doing this, and it would be as a first one, we'll do camera dot screen point to ray, and we'll do mouse position. So now you'll notice one of the overrides for this was just taking an array, or we can do the same thing for our, which is the same thing as our origin and direction. It's the same concept, because array stores that same information. Okay, so one thing I want to show you guys how to do is something called gizmos, which is used mostly for to make things pretty for editors, and also to use for debug, which is how we're going to use it in a second. But first thing I want to do is just fix a little bug here. We'll put allow input to true in here, allow input to false in here, and then take our shoot manager. We're gonna cut it from here and then paste it inside of here. And actually, we want shoot manager to be above this here. Okay, that's how I want it. And now I moved back to using our, where is it? Our screen point array, because that's a cleaner way of doing it. And now I'm going to show you guys how to use your gizmos. Not only is that a cleaner way of doing that, but it's easier to see with your gizmos. Okay, we'll do gizmos dot color equals color dot red. Okay, gizmos is a function that we can only use in the editor, and it's useful for drawing simple things here. So let's go ahead and do a draw array, and we'll do camera dot screen point to array mouse position. Now let's go ahead and if we let it recompile here, or I'm sorry, I wasn't on gizmos, it's on draw gizmos. Okay, and so now you'll see we have, oops, that is the interpreted direction. Okay, and the most important thing with the script is to make sure that your other game objects do have colliders attached to them, or else nothing will work. So, I've gone ahead and added in our gizmos, and you can see that red line on in the scene view. That's the ray that is being drawn. I shoot the house, and if I move this over, you can see a little bit better. We can shoot the house, and then we can also shoot the stickman. So now we've got our raycast system working. Okay, so it's been kind of a lengthy video, so I'm gonna cut it short. So we have our gizmos we implemented. We moved our shoot manager down here. This is just a little recap. We got our raycasts from our array position, and then we're printing all the names to the console, which we can do stuff with them later on.